Good morning, everybody. We are outside here in the backyard and fixing to go over and pick some tomatoes. I thought maybe this morning we might make some chow. I usually try to get semi-ripe. I don't know if you know what semi-ripe is or not, but we'll just walk out here to the tomato vines. I don't have a lot of tomato vines, but I do have 6, and they are pretty full. So we are going to get some. Let me get down here and show you. This is kind of what a semi-ripe looks like. It's beginning to turn. And then I'm gonna have to get several of these green tomatoes and just go ahead and pick them so that they will be in the chow too. But all the mockingbirds hollering this morning. And this is gonna be a hot day today. So I'm gonna pick some of these and then I will show you what I've got as I go along. Okay? So, okay. I think I probably have what I am going to get for my chow. And I'll just have to get down here and get some pepper. Now, I've got pepper in through here. And I have this colored pepper. Got some pepper in my fridge I picked yesterday. That's why this is so small. And not as big as I need. But okay. Let me go down through here and see. Carrots still aren't ready, but I believe the okra is beginning. Yep. There's that okra under there. There's some there. And y'all would not believe how much these 2 plants have wrecked all of these cucumbers that I have gotten off of this vine. I think I have supplied everybody because they all come out like that in 3s and 4s. So I have had me some kind of cucumbers. But y'all, several asked, how did your porch turn out? Well, we got it finished, and it's got to be painted. So just know that it still has to be painted. Okay, well, I'm going to turn off and we are going to go inside and I'll show you what all we got to get together. Okay, we've got our onions, our bell peppers, our tomatoes. We've got our vinegar and our sugar and our canning jars. I think we're ready. But you're going to learn that I don't do recipes. So what I do for my chow is I try to third it. I try to put as many onions as I do bell pepper and tomatoes. The only problem with that is you're going to see me put a few more onions because I love pickled onions. And it seems that everybody that eats it would rather have the onions than they had the tomatoes and bell peppers too. I'm going to have to take just a minute because y'all have got to see my granddog. She is precious. This is my Oreo. Oreo! Look how precious that is. Her love her Mimi. Yes, she does. Okay. So today we are going to start with our tomatoes. And I've washed. You have to take and you peel them really good because you can't put the peels in there. That will ruin your jar. It will get to where it'll bubble up and you'll see the foam in it if you put your rind and all in it. It'll sour in there, I guess. I don't know what it does. I just know that it'll spoil. So that's the word I'm looking for, is spoil. But whenever you get down to the core, you want to take that core out and make sure you get all of it because it will spoil too. So you see these little places like this where that core is, that's got to come out. Okay. There. And then I take, and they're pretty good sized little pieces that you're going to take and you just chomp it up and let it be down in the bottom. And we're going to get all of this out. So what's everybody doing today? Are y'all doing in your yards? Are you shopping? I was outside yesterday. It's just too hot. I don't know where everybody's at that watches all these, but I know that here in Arkansas, it is PHOT hot. And when you walk outside, you're going to sweat. So if you are out of state from Arkansas, give me a message and let me know where you're at. I'd like to hear from you. So we're going to do all of our tomatoes, and then we're going to take our bell pepper, and these don't look like the Big Berthas, but they are, and we cut the top of them. Maybe I should do one that looks more like a pepper because more people will buy it than they will the other. And I have some bad places on it. But you take and you core it out and get it cleaned. Make sure you get this little end off of it. And get all your seeds out because you don't want any seeds in it. And wash it up good. And then you take it and you're going to go longwise. Not across, but longwise into strips. And your strips will be like that. See? They don't have to be perfect, but they just, I don't know, they fit in your jar better, they cook down better, and it makes it prettier. And then we are going to take an onion, and you're going to slice a pretty good sized slice. You can still see your knife through the onion. And you just slice your onion up. And as you slice your onion, you take and push out all your rings. And they're going to be on top. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do all our tomatoes first. They go in the bottom. Then we're going to put our peppers on top. And then we're going to put our onions on top of that. And we're going to come back and show you what it's like. Okay. So we have our tomatoes. And we have bell pepper. And we have onions. So we're going to take and smooth our bell pepper around. Our tomatoes around. And pull these bell peppers across. And take and break up all of our onions. We might have got too many onions, but we've got plenty. We'll see. We'll see. We like onions, so that's a good part. Well, those are not going to be in it. So, let us get the rest of these in here. We have I think these onions we're going to freeze. Okay. Because I think we've got enough here in there to make us a good pot. Okay. I'm going to get these out of the floor before I step on them and throw them in the sink. Okay, what we're going to do now is we are going to go over and put this down and get our sugar. Edward went to the store and got us some bread and all, so that's what my bread's doing, sitting up here. Here's where the tricky part comes in. How much sugar do you add? Well, I do it until Grandma tells me to stop. No, seriously. Whenever you put this on, you are going to go heavy with it because you're going to have to kill that vinegar. And this is supposed to be a sweet chow. So we're going to put enough on here that we can try it at first and see exactly what it's going to give us. So let's take it and get our salt. Because you don't have to hot bath it, you don't have to pressure it. When this comes off, it's just like pickles in the sense that whenever there's our pepper, whenever you take it out, like jelly, not pickles. Whenever you take it off, you're going to put it in a jar and it will seal. So we're going to do it. And you take your vinegar, don't pour it over it as far as all the way up over it, because you're going to have a lot of vinegar left then. And, ooh, don't you love the smell of vinegar? It smells so clean. And you're going to get it to where you can just barely see it coming through. You see that right there? You'll see it where you'll barely see it coming through. And then you're going to cook it down. Alright. And what I do is I take and I get me a little spoon and I taste it to see just how sweet it is. And that's not sweet enough. So we're going to have to take and get our sugar and put some more sugar to it. You don't want to taste the vinegar as much as you want to taste the sugar. And it takes a couple of pounds of sugar to make it. Let me rinse my little spoon off. And y'all say, well, isn't that going to be fattening with all that sugar? Well, I mean, you're not going to eat the whole jar at one time. You're just going to use it whenever you have, like, beans or peas or creamed potatoes, or you could put it with hamburgers. You could put, you know, but you're not going to just sit and eat it out the jar. So, it's that good dough that you could. It really does taste good once it's all set and kind of fermented a little bit. So, let's see what we got. It's getting there. Yep, I think one more little bit will do it. Because we want it to be good. A little bit of vinegar really makes a lot of sour, if that makes sense. So it takes a whole lot of sugar to calm down a little bit of vinegar. And we poured a pretty good bit of vinegar in there. But just look at that. Tell me that's not just the prettiest stuff and a relish on the table when you have company for holidays and whatnot. It's just really pretty. And it makes you feel good to know you've done it yourself. Okay. We are going to let this set, and whenever it comes to a boil, we're going to let it boil a few minutes. Not very long, but you see these onions and these bell peppers? Whenever these bell peppers start changing colors, they'll get real light. And these onions will get kind of a glaze to them, and you can tell that. That's when it's ready. If you overcook it, they'll get real soft. You don't want it real soft. You want it to be where you can put it in your mouth and it'll crunch a little. But these tomatoes will cook down. And you'll see the difference. So we'll come back and show you what that difference is. But I've got to get my jars together. Okay, you see where these onions and the bell peppers have changed? You see how they're glossed over and on? Okay, we're turning it off. And it is time to put it in jars. I'll slide that over close. And get the... Everything's cooked. Oh, that's pretty. See, I think canning is pretty. But then I listened to my mama for all those years. And she thought canning was pretty too. So. All right, and we push it down. We get us a little bit of juice to come up. Remember, you take it to the rim, and we are going to set it right here and fill us another jar. And we're hoping for 6, but it doesn't look like it. We sometimes don't get exactly what we're looking for. And this time looks like that's going to be one of them. So we're going to, woo, that's hot. It will scald you. Remember, don't let it run on your hand. It looks like we might get 4 instead of the 6. So, like I said, this was just a small cooking. So, we are going to strain this out and get us a lid on them, and they should start sealing here pretty soon. Now, remember what I told you before on the others. We get a little bit of a warm rag and we come back and we make sure we clean around the top, because if there's anything, any kind of liquid or a seed or anything like that, it will not seal. So we're gonna clean, there's a seed, see? We're gonna clean that up, get our hot lids, pick that jar up, wipe it down, and seal it tight. Okay? Our hot lid. Wipe it down and seal it tight. And in a few, just like the others, they'll start popping. And once it's popped, it's sealed. So, I'm going to do that last jar, and we're going to have 4. But that's what we've got. And I hope that you make you a pan of chow and enjoy. Bye.